Obama and Clinton. Clinton came to town to support him. They respected his opinion so much that he was their advisor.
Those endorsements have helped Emanuel raise millions of dollars for his campaign, far more than anyone else in the race. On the opposite end, one of his opponents was born and raised in the infamous Chicago Cabrini Green housing projects.
We can change that. Thank you.
The darling at a recent debate sponsored by an African-American newspaper.
And I was a high school dropout. I went through a challenge in my life. But it lets me know, and it lets people out there know, that all of us can make it. If we just have a half an opportunity, we can make it.
With Emanuel's commanding lead in the opinion polls, there's little doubt that it will be his opportunity as next mayor. Washington insiders speculated why Emanuel left the White House. Chicago political observers expected it.
So nobody was surprised that A, he went to the White House with Barack Obama, and B, that when the time came, he came back to Chicago to run for mayor.
Backing by ethnic groups outside of the candidates makes or breaks political campaigns in Chicago. No candidate can win solely on their voter base. They need to reach out into different groups. For Rahm Emanuel, he's focused on the African-American community and specifically on a group called the Obama segment, and they predominantly live here on the south side of Chicago.
Can we count on your support for Rahm Emanuel in the upcoming mayoral election?
And his campaigners have been very successful in doing just that. So on Election Day, February 22nd, the question is not if Rahm Emanuel will get the most votes, but if he gets the 50% plus one vote needed for an outright victory, avoiding a runoff election. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Chicago.
Bahrain's Crown Prince confirms the unrest in his country has led to the cancellation of a major sporting event. And that's left Formula One scrambling to reschedule its season opening race. Those details, as well as the other sports news, coming up next. Stay with us.
Over the Sea of Japan, as cool conditions persist, you'll find something to whet your appetite.
Hello once again, welcome to another look at the international forecast. We've got plenty of cloud across North Asia, but not much in the way of rain. You can see how these bands of cloud making their way from west to east, driving through the Yellow Sea. We will see it staying largely fine and dry across much of North Asia. Having said that, though, a little more cloud towards northern parts of North Korea. Temperatures starting to recover, 9 or 10 Celsius here, 12 or 13 there across Japan. Might just see the odd shower to the far south of Kyushu, but that aside, plenty of sunshine. Sunshine too for Beijing, again 13 Celsius. We need the rain here. I'm afraid we're not going to see any. That's a warm one actually. Temperatures should be about 7 Celsius at the time, this time of the year. It's near a minus 13, mind you, for Ulaanbaatar, so still a little chilly here. A little bit of cloud down into eastern parts of China. Chance of some drizzly rain, which will extend its way down into the south. Heavier showers down towards the southwestern corner, and they're just drifting their way across a good part of Indochina. Plenty of showers once again into southern parts of India. They're making their way a little further westward. Sri Lanka drying up, looking good for the cricket here. Looking good towards the north as well. We have got some wintry weather once again across the far north, just around the foothills of the Himalayas. For the Arabian Peninsula, it's fine, dry and sunny, with highs in the mid-20s.
Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
Welcome back. A recap now of the latest developments in Libya. The Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi has appeared on state television denying rumors that he's fled to Venezuela and says he is in Tripoli. The United Nations, meanwhile, has condemned airstrikes on protesters in the capital and the cities of Zawiya and Misrata. And several Libyan diplomats around the world have also resigned. That includes the ambassador to India and 4 diplomats in China. Well, let's get an update now on the latest from the social media sites. Nazanin Sadri is over at our web desk. Naz.
Thanks, Folly. Well, the internet chatter has actually picked up quite a bit over the last hour. Hashtag Gaddafi is now trending worldwide on Twitter. From what I've been seeing, a lot of the messages at the moment showing frustration at the lack of international intervention in Libya to help the people. The Libyan Youth Movement is a group of activists working from abroad to support protesters in their country. They've written a letter to the UN appealing for help. They've also tweeted this. The UN Security Council must implement a no-fly zone over Libya to protect our people. The world should not sleep. I hope you all have nightmares while Libya is living in one. Wake up, end this. And another blogger writes, this massacre of the people in Libya is a test of humanity. It will have long repercussions on world consciousness. If this massacre would have happened in Iran, imagine the outcry it would have caused. But in Libya, there is delay and hesitation. And Omar tweets, message from Libya, tell the world we died for our country. Tell them we died with honor. Goodbye. Well, you can get a sense of how terrified people are by this recording of a telephone message to a group of Libyans living outside the country called the Feb 17 Voices.
Basically, we need help from everybody. We need support. We need medical aid. We need someone to stop this guy. He's sending in mercenaries from, we don't know where they're coming from. We just need aid. We need help right now. We need this guy to leave the country. I mean, everyone's basically leaving their houses and they're shahading. Nobody's coming back unless they're saying the shahada. They know they're not going to come back. It's really bad out here. Everyone's getting killed. I mean, it's getting worse and worse right now.
Well, in order to keep those kind of accounts from inside the country still coming out, Google has launched a service where anyone who has access to a phone that's working can call a landline and leave a message. That will then be transcribed directly into a tweet. The numbers to call are on your screens right now. And we're also getting reports of limited internet access available in Libya. You can find the details of the internet proxy services on the rolling news ticker at the bottom as well. Many people are passing on those figures to friends and family in Libya. And of course, we'll keep monitoring all the latest messages from inside Libya. You can get more information on our website and our live blog that's being updated by our web team 24 hours a day. That's it for me for now. Back to you, Folly.
Thank you very much, Nazanin. Now time for sports on Al Jazeera. Here's Stuart.
Yes, thanks. And the Formula One season will be starting 2 weeks late after the decision to call off the Bahrain Grand Prix, which was scheduled for the 13th of March. After a weekend of speculation, the Crown Prince finally announced the race would not be taking place amidst the continuing civil unrest in his country. Andrew Potter has more.
The Bahrain International Circuit should have been hosting the opening Grand Prix of the 2011 Formula One season in just under 3 weeks' time. Instead, these stands will sit empty as the country's political unrest makes its first major impact on the international sporting world. The decision came from the very top, the Crown Prince.
We felt it was important for the country to focus on immediate issues of national interest and leave the hosting of Bahrain's Formula One race to a later date.
Since its first running here in 2004, the Bahrain Grand Prix has been by far the biggest sporting event in the country, putting the tiny Gulf state on the international sporting map, and it's also a massive money earner for Formula One. Motorsport reporter Will Buxton has just returned from Bahrain.
It's an absolutely huge decision, and the Grand Prix has been the baby of the Crown Prince of Bahrain for some time. It was his love, it was his passion for the sport that brought it to Bahrain in the first place. So the decision on his part to cancel the race was a big one, but I feel the right one.
With so much cash and prestige at stake, there's already talk of rearranging the race